I have been, since yesterday, fascinated with the Russell Brand story, then the Jan Wenner story, then the latest Trump gaffe, and all of the other various collective stories about this, vis-a-vis your reaction. Not the story itself, your reaction. It is one of the most interesting things I have ever seen at so many levels. We're going to be talking about this. I'm telling you right now, we're going to be talking about this. We're going to be discussing, oh, look at this. The Paxton acquittal, which is kind of fascinating to me. The new Equalizer we saw, Lauren Boebert, trailer trash, the Hunter indictment, Hugh Jackman, Kristi Noem, AOC booed, Pelosi won't endorse Kamala, David Ignatius and WAPO, abortion, UFO warfare, Morning Joe, guns, COVID elections, the donor class, the blob, and more Trump. But believe it or not, the most fascinating issue is I'm still it goes under that Andrew Tate thing, which is Russell Brand, and your incredible, almost reflexive defense of him without any knowledge whatsoever of the accusations. And what's even more important, and I can't even believe this, how so many people out of the panoply, the veritable endless litany of some of the greatest minds ever regarding politics, arts, name it, Russell Brand. Oh, he speaks the truth. He repeats what everybody else says. I know, but you know what? You could think anybody you want, but I mean Russell Brand. They say people who listen to Bill Maher say you do know what they're doing, right? This is a shtick. They change their opinions every maybe 5,000 miles, just to see if this one works. You do know that, right? Whether it's these people or Candace Owens or whoever it is, they just whatever the wind, they say whatever they have to say. This is good. I'll go with that. Turning Point, CPAC, this conservative, the Democrats don't have that. They have one voice, one message. That's it. But in the conservative world, there's this, I don't know what it is, these various iterations of all this stuff. So we'll talk about that. It's fascinating. Let me ask you first. I always have to do this. Everybody does this. Please like the video. Please subscribe to it. Please, I'm asking, dear, for the love of God, please, I'm asking you, dear God, please do this. And my friends, the response, I have to tell you, officially, unofficially, the number of people around the country, and I would say the world, who recognize that emergency food disasters are on its and their way. The numbers are going through the roof. That's why preparewithlionel.com is the first place to start to say, okay, I've heard enough. We have to prepare. We have to have something ready. I've heard about this for so long. I believe it. Supply chain disasters, whatever it is. Preparewithlionel.com. Preparewithlionel.com. Save $200 off a 3-month emergency food order. Spend 30 seconds at preparewithlionel.com and think, holy cow, look at what they have done. The genius involved in this. Preparewithlionel.com. What was that again? Preparewithlionel.com. All right, dear friends. Let me say this before you begin. Number one, I'm going to just start with nothing in particular. I'm going to start with one position. You are a human being who is susceptible to a lot of, dare I say, idiosyncratic tendencies and biases that makes you human. You, for example, will like certain people, like them, like friends. They're your friends. They're your family. You like them. You really like them. And Russell Brand and Joe Rogan and I don't know, whoever, these people, not Alex Jones so much. Alex has lost his way with a lot of folks because people think, and it's interesting to see how you have the people that you love, you just love certain people, and you think they're so, what they're saying is nothing, but it just, maybe it's new to you. Maybe it's new. Rogan, there's a lot of good people out there, but he says nothing new, but you like him. Because, I'm sorry to say this, politics to you is a style. It's like which group is popular this week. And for some reason or another, you find, as is your right, you believe Russell Brand to be the absolute, the quintessence of genius. Maybe in part because of his British accent, which, as you know, is the thing that Americans have always fallen for since day one. Americans go crazy over British accents. You know it's true. Even if it's Cockney, even if it's Geordie, my favorite, by the way. Geordie is the best. Newcastle, the best. When people say, would you like to go to the UK? Newcastle. That's where I want to go. Those are my people. I love those people. They're just the best. You know who's got a good Geordie accent is Brian, what's his name? Brian from AC/DC. Mark Knopfler. Eric Burden. Great accents. Okay. But you love Russell Brand. You love him because you think he says so much. Right? You do. And that's okay. And you can think anybody you want. Doesn't matter to me. I don't care. You can think anything you want. You love him. You think what he's saying is so brilliant that he is talking about banking systems. It's just like, what is her name? What is her name? There's a banker. She's terrific, but please help me with this. I don't watch her enough where I'm not that facile with her name. She's a banker. You know what I'm talking about. She has kind of blonde hair. She may be kind of like my age. She's very good. In any event, she's been on with all these people about banking and Federal Reserve. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. And she's really, really good. Okay. So Russell Brand comes along, and this is important. Russell Brand has been a jerk for years. I mean, he was the biggest, just a scalawag. But you didn't know this. You didn't know this, and you didn't care because you're starting to no, not Susie Roman. Her name is, I don't want to describe her. I'll think about it. Okay. Oh, look at this. Brian Johnson was my neighbor, Fort Myers Beach, back in the 80s. You know, it's funny. I think now he's in like Sarasota or something. Oh, Brian Johnson is great. You know what I'm talking about. In any event. Oh, look at this. High lineup from Geordie Land. Newcastle's the best. Liz Solak. Catherine Austin Fitz. Jacqueline, thank you. Catherine Austin Fitz is to me, phenomenal, wonderful, a guru. Why? I think about, no, I don't think he's in St. Pete. I think he's in Sarasota, Sanibel, something like that. Anyway, Catherine Austin Fitz, thank you, Jacqueline. You're okay in my book. You're okay. Jacqueline's okay in my book. She is great because I learned something new It's different. Russell Brand, nothing new. Repackaged, rehashed horse fur. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? It's okay, but it's a free country, and you can like whatever you want. But he has been a scum for years the way he's actively treated women, and nobody cares about this. See, Bird Key in Sarasota, thank you. Brian Johnson, one of the nicest. I don't know him personally, but okay. And by the way, Sarasota, Manatee, Longboat Key, Sanibel, Captiva. That I'm a West Coast guy. That's the place. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. I'm jumping back and forth, and I know it's driving you crazy. I'm jumping from this, jumping to that. Catherine Austin Fitz, fantastic. Okay, now I don't like pigs. Who is one thing, listen, it's one thing to say something, but no, Russell Brand, and also that other pig, Andrew Tate, who's just disgusting. I can't believe how so many very smart women fell for that stuff. Did you ever hear what he had to say about his classes? What is the matter with you? This is why society is so stupid, because he's a boorish. Oh, he may or may not get his due. And then other idiots like your girlfriend, Candace Owens, and your boyfriend, Tucker, they love this guy. I don't get it. But it's a free country. Okay. So Russell Brand's been Russell Brand since the beginning of time. Okay. He's been a punk. He's mistreated women. Okay, fine. I'm not done yet because I'm going to defend him in a weird way. Not defend him, but give you. But that's what you like. And that's the way it goes. And that's terrific. And that's fine. I don't care. BBC or whoever the hell it was should have been responsible for basically hiding this person. But I'm going to say something, and this is the problem that nobody wants to address. Nobody wants to address this. Russell Brand is a scumbag, an overrated, kind of a pseudo-intellect, but whatever it is, it's a free country. I don't care. You could like Stanley Myron Handelman. That's dating myself. I don't care about that. If somebody melts your butter, great. But he was protected. He was kept. They knew this. And the best part about this is you will never, ever, ever hear anybody suggest the number of women who tolerate this. And you never talk about that. There were people who, now remember, there's a balance. There are a lot of people who say, oh, I don't care about this. We live in a world right now where you've got this. What is this story, honey, with Kanye and that thing he's married? What is this? I don't even know what this is. She walks around naked all the time. What is going on here? We live in a world right now that is bereft of any kind of moral barometers, so nobody knows anything anymore. And there are women and men, but women who don't care, who will say, this goes back to the days of the groupies. Remember the groupies and professional wrestlers? Ask professional wrestlers about ring rats, about the rats. Women who go from, this is wrestlers, and outlaw, dear God, there has always been women who've thrown themselves. Okay, fine. Does it make it right? Doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it right. Okay. But then there's this news story all of a sudden. And by the way, who are all these unnamed women? Excuse me, unnamed women? Pardon me. You're accusing me, this is Russell Brand. You're accusing Russell of career-ending disaster, possible criminal sanction, and you're bringing up anonymous women? Excuse me. No. If you're going to say that, you've got to come forward and say, who are you? How do you know him? What's your history with him? Tell us a little bit about, do you have current pending litigation against him? Did he fire you? Is there 20 people? Are there 20 people who would say, oh, I know her. She's the one who said, if there's one thing I'll do, it's bring Russell Brand down. Theoretically, we don't know who these people are. A little discovery here would be nice. And the next issue is there's supposedly a 16-year-old that he did terrible things to. Okay. In the UK, 16 is a consensual age, not for rape, not for sexual battery. But understand what we're talking about. When you're 16, look at what the rule in UK is. Just understand these things. Balance all this out. And then ask yourself, look what people are saying. If this were Hunter Biden, you wouldn't even need anything even remote. You would not need anything at all in terms of, what am I saying? You wouldn't need any kind of, I don't know what the word is, proof or anything. Say about anything about Hunter and that's it. Okay? Say anything about Hunter and you believe it. Why? Because you hate Hunter. But you like Russell. So whatever they say about Russell, you don't want to hear it. But with Hunter, you do want to hear it. You see what I'm saying? This is the way you are. Andrew Tate, who is vile to me, of them all. I don't know anything about his Romanian case, but as a human being and what he said, he's vile. He's vile. People love this guy. Says a lot about, you know what I mean? See, let me jump to the next chapter. This is something you don't understand. I don't know how to break this to you. I don't know how to fill you in on this. I don't know how to let you know about this. But when it comes to entertainment and that sort of thing, remember Louis C.K.? Dear God, what the hell was this about? Louis C.K., Neil deGrasse Tyson, they do this stuff, they come back, they put... I'm not judge and executioner. I don't know anything about this. I'm going to say something right now which surprises people to no end, but I'm going to say this. Whatever people do in their personal life doesn't affect what they do professionally. You can say whatever you want. Roman Polanski is a genius. Rosemary's Baby was incredible. Roman Polanski, Chinatown, is a genius. He's also demented. He is a Freudian train wreck. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to fill you in. But then you have other people who would bring children in a weird, and this is something nobody understands. Little backup story. So anyway, Roman Polanski's here. Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby was an absolute comedic genius. What he did then, in terms of his, is something that's still one of the greatest storytellers. We have no storytellers. Dave Chappelle is very good. Storytellers, not quick. A guy that I can't listen to for 5 seconds. Still, Robin Williams, great actor, horrible, no stories. Carlin, Bill Cosby, great storyteller. Richard Pryor, great storyteller. Voices, acting. When he would do Mudbone and he would get into there was nothing like this. As a person, the two have nothing. So I want you to understand something. I don't care about their person. I don't care who they are. Do you think Mick Jagger is anything that's, come on. I don't care about that. Sing for me. And whatever you do in your private life, that's up to you. The two are different. There are the most pious and wonderful people I don't want to hear sing. Just because people who are going to sing, I wouldn't let my kid or my cat near them. All right, fine. Years ago, let me give you an idea. Years ago, Bill Cosby said that when he used to go to the Playboy Mansion, and by the way, Hugh Hefner was one of the most vile and disgusting human beings ever. What they did to women, subjugation of women, we're finding out after the fact, it's barbaric. His MO was No, Playboy is about the celebration of women in an old-fashioned visage where they were more romantic. Oh, shut up. They would give people lewds, but meanwhile, there would be a mile long of women lined up ready to be victimized. I don't know what the hell. And they all talked. They knew what they were doing. They knew what was going on. But if they had a chance to meet Bill Cosby or Warren Beatty or whoever the hell it was, they'd do it. So this is weird. Victimization and consensual victimization. Go figure that one out. But Bill Cosby one time said, in the old days, we'd slip a woman something to kind of lube her up, loosen her up. Well, maybe make her more lubricious, concupiscent. He basically knocking people out. They call them Mickey Fins. They drop a couple of drops. This is before roofies or hypno, and they talked about this like it was nothing, like it was what you did. This is how demented this was. You're narcotizing, you're sedating women. Yes, you are sick. Oh, maybe it was. This is what they did. This is what they did. Sweet, sweet Connie, the groupies. Dear, I'm not going to go through the Led Zeppelin stories. Go back to Bob Hope. Oh, dear God. And again, Beatty, Jack Nicholson, Fatty Arbuckle, Chaplin. He wanted children. And mothers would bring children. Shirley Temple. Here's my daughter. How do you like her? Very talented. It's sick. None of this makes any sense. So it doesn't start with Russell Brand. He's not the first one. There's something about this. And it's sick. Listen, there are some people who are a bit promiscuous. We're not talking promiscuity here. Nothing wrong with promiscuous. Consensual promiscuity, nothing wrong with that. A full-throated, a healthy sex life with loads of partners. If it's consensual and everybody's in the same, have at it. No problem with that. That's your business. We're not talking about that here. And then you got these Andrew Tate people who have this idea where treating women like this savagery. Did you hear Russell Brand's joke about spitting at women? Do you know anything about him? Again, it's a free country. Say whatever you want. I do a lot of this. You can say it, but I find it despicable. I'm not old-fashioned, but I believe in this kind of crazy thing about you don't have to victimize women. If you were the slightest bit, if you are the slightest bit cordial, if you were the slightest bit decent, if you were the slightest bit polite, gentlemanly, the sky's the limit. This is the thing which I don't understand. Flaxseed. This is the thing I don't understand. I don't get this. You're Russell. You've got people lining up. You don't need kids. You don't need this. You don't have to choke women and spit on them. And what is the matter with you? You're Ted Bundy without the body count. This is what we're talking about here. This is a thing that people do not understand. We're talking about a depravity. And it's been in the, dare I say, in the entertainment world for the longest time. But now it's kind of breaking out. And it's everywhere. And these people like Tucker and others paying despicable. I'm gonna sit with some guy who has a class about how you what? No. Sorry. Sorry. But here's the best part. And this is something to remember. Russell Brand has to say, I do not know anything of the allegation. And I'm not going to comment. If you have something to prove, and this is not only innocent until proven guilty, this is our Fifth Amendment provision. But this goes, I think, around. This is almost rational. Then prove the case. Prove the case against me. That is it. That's all I'm going to say. Prove the case. I'm not going to start answering questions. I don't know who these people are. I don't know what you're talking about. And that is the last time I talk about it. Now, I'll be at one week's night. We're going to be talking, and that's it. Don't reference it. Don't talk about it, which is what Trump should do. Don't talk about the cases anymore. We don't care. Shut up about the indictments. When E. Jean Carroll accuses you of sexual battery, don't mock her. Her looks, the same thing he did with Dusty Saddles or whatever her name is, horse face, and this. What is going? What is it? You know anything about this? I don't know. I don't know. I was watching this piece before. It was very interesting. It was CBS, the two pilots on Flight 93. And it was a very interesting story. I thought, this is interesting. Where's the plane? They never got to it. I don't have to answer anything. I don't know anything about these marvelous, wonderful, brave pilots. I don't know anything about this. It's not my story. I got one question. Where's the plane? And when Russell Brand's got to merely say, I don't know anything about this. Next. I don't know what to say. I don't answer questions. That's it. Now, if there's criminal cases, especially, keep your mouth shut. But no, he can't do that because you see, he's going to outsmart everybody. He's so brilliant. Let me also tell you something. When you take a human brain, let's say this is your brain, which looks like the world, and for years and years and years and years and years, you have messed this thing up with drugs and alcohol and dopamine and serotonin and all kinds of neurotransmitters and rewiring. And this thing turns, I don't know what the hell this thing is, but it's a mess. You think you're bigger than everybody. You think you're so bright. Oh, you think you're so smart. You're Russell Brand. You're a genius. I'm going to outsmart these people. I'm going to talk to them like Trump does. Next subject. Donald Trump said he does not support an age limit for running for president, but he does support a mental competency test. Trump, who is 77, told NBC News, stop. You did what? NBC News. What are you doing talking to NBC News? Excuse me. You're talking to NBC News. Why? What do you want to? Why are you doing this? You're Russell Brand. Oh no. I'm so smart. Wait a minute. No, you're not. This is the enemy. Why are you talking? What did you think you were accomplishing? Do you think they're going to make you look good? No. I have a friend of mine who says, you don't understand. Trump will talk to anybody. I said, well, why is he talking to Megyn Kelly? And I know a lot of people who are very close to Trump. And I said, why is he talking to Megyn Kelly? You don't understand. Trump's not afraid of it. It's not about being afraid. What is he gaining from this? What is he gathering? How is he benefiting from this? How does this make any sense at all to you? Anyway, Trump told NBC News in an interview to be broadcast on Sunday that he thought age doesn't matter, but cognitive function does, in a dig at Biden's brain function. Quote, and this is, by the way, Daily Mail. I don't think Biden's too old, but I think he's incompetent, and that's a bigger problem. But Trump made his own gaffe earlier on Saturday during an appearance in Washington. He said Biden would lead the U.S. into World War II, which of course concluded in 1945, and appeared to say he was beating Barack Obama in the polls. Now, it's the slip of the tongue. Biden is the oldest person ever elected president, and his age is worrying many voters, blah, blah, blah. And so now Trump is going to be saying he's making these little gaffes here and there. Why? Why is he doing this? He says, some of the greatest world leaders have been in their 80s. I'm not anywhere very near 80, by the way. I don't even know what that means. I'm not anywhere very near 80. And he said during the 10-minute interview evaluation he took while president, designed to screen for mild cognitive impairment. I took a test 3 years ago. He told Kristen Welker. And as the doctor said, and it was in front of doctors and a whole big deal at Walter Reed, which is an incredible place, and I aced it. Okay, why are you doing this? Why? Tell me, my friends, why is he doing this? Tell me how this benefits. Tell me how this benefits. No, seriously, I know you're going to tell me. You're going to say, "Oh no, this is great." Tell me why he's doing this. How many people, how many young people, how many undecided people, how many people are watching NBC News, and how do you think NBC News is going to help them? Is anybody ever going to say, I wasn't really a big Trump fan, but now I'm going to vote for him because I saw him on NBC News. Boy, he aced that great question. That World War II thing. That was kind of funny. Why is he doing this? Why is he going in there? Why is he doing it? Why? He's pulling a Russell Brand. Why is he doing this? No, come on. I'm curious. I'm curious as to your input is very good. I love what you think. Kilted Sasquatch says Russell is being set up because he has been interviewing people which expose the deep state. Oh, please. Russell Brand's interview being set up? Now, let me ask you a question, Kilted. I appreciate it. Thank you, by the way, for your comment. I'm just saying, do you think these women they don't exist? No, tell me. Oh, yeah. Do you think, oh, yeah, there are no women? If you think that, let me know. You say, oh, no, it never happened. No, Russell Brand didn't do anything. All these women, the 16-year-old, these stories never happened. He's being set up. Is that what you're saying? And do you think Russell Brand exposes the deep state? Let me get this straight. Russell Brand, there was no problem until Russell Brand. You're giving this guy so much credit. My God. This is a hagiographic. I thank you, by the way, for this, Kilt. I mean, but are you kidding? This aggrandizement. They didn't know about the deep state until Russell Brand came along. You're kidding me. Russell Brand, you know what? We were doing great until Russell Brand brought up the international banking cabal and, digital currencies and, we got to do something. Hey, I got it. I've got about 4 or 5 anonymous women I'm going to make up. They don't exist. We're going to claim sexual better. What do you say? Good, do it. They don't exist? Not at all. Made it all up. Come on, man. You're saying this is hackneyed. You're repeating the same stuff. Trump is going to be. We're past that. Let me tell you the question. And if you remember me right before 2020, Trump has to stop going on these interviews. He's an egomaniac or something. I don't know why he thinks, I'm going to go on NBC. I love talking to people. No. Okay, you're 77. It's over with. Maybe that means something to you. USA Today is going to be interviewing me. No. You sit down in front of your camera, sir. Something that looks okay. Hire anybody. And today, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Why? These people have bad attention span. 5 minutes. We'll go long form only. And here is your thing, Mr. President. Here I have a notes here at 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Today we're going to talk about crime. Crime. And here are the 3 points you're going to talk about crime. And you're going to say this in any way you want. Just this, and this. Please talk to the camera. Don't read the prompter. He doesn't read prompters well. Don't do that sniffing thing. Just talk to me. Have somebody sit there. He can look at it. Sometimes you can do this technique where the camera's here and you look a little bit off like that. Just talk to me. That we're going to put out. Then NBC and ABC and CBS, they'll all be talking about your incredible way of getting to the bottom of this. Sparky says, does Trump think that the legacy media is still relevant? Wish he realized that it isn't? Yes, he thinks it's relevant. It's an age thing. It's something that's Sparky, and thank you, by the way. Sparky, if he says something, if you say, you're going to sit down, do your thing. Okay, stop. Let's play it back, folks. What do you think? That was good. Mr. President, let's do it again. Can we do this again? I love their technique. No notes, no read it. Do it again, but I want you to talk more about what you did when you're president. Okay, good. Better yet, I want you to personalize it. Try this, Mr. President. How about this? We all can differ about foreign policy. We all can differ about a lot of things. But it is the primary goal of the government to make sure that you and your family are safe from very bad people who want to do very bad things. Stop. How was that? Loved it. Thank you. And then Trump says, well, will the legacy media get a hold of this? You betcha. Why? Anything you say, they get a hold. But not only that, Mr. President, I don't care about the legacy media. I want this thing to go viral. And it'll go viral. We're going to be on TikTok. We're going to be, and not Rumble, not BitChute, not Odyssey. I mean, that's okay. Those are good. Don't get me wrong. I want this on YouTube. I don't know whether he's somebody, but they're gonna cover this. And I want you to say something that nobody can take any offense to. Just speak speak from the heart. Something that Gavin Newsom will not be able to address. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about the legacy media. That was very good. Let's do it again. Let's do another one. Now, Mr. President, we got two big problems here. Gavin Newsom is going to clobber you when it comes to two things. We have to figure this one out. Climate change and abortion. What are we going to do? Now, Mr. President, with all due respect, and I love you, sir, but you've never came across to me as Mr. Hyper-religious, Mr. Uber-Christian with your Bible and we go to church every week. Stop it. Don't be something you're not. It's okay. Most people aren't either. Don't ever be something you're not. So we don't really care about that. And you got a bunch of these people, these CPAC folks who, Turning Point and all this. Oh, biggest bunch of phonies. They do nothing for you. They talk amongst themselves. That's a money-making organization. So about 3 or 4 people can get it. So, same with CPAC. Oh, would you like the Ronald Reagan package? What's that? Well, you have a continental breakfast in the morning, and maybe if you're lucky, you'll get to sit in the back at a lunch, unless you want to get the Barry Goldwater package. How much is that? Well, that's $3,000, but oh, come on. Stop it. I know it'll work. Come on. So I want him to say about this. What are you going to do about this? What are you going to do about this? What are you going to do about this? Now, you can do one of two things, Mr. President. We have to address abortion, and we have to address climate change. Either address it by doing something. I've got all the research information on Gavin Newsom, and here's what Gavin Newsom did about EV, electric cars, blah, 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 whatever it is. We'll talk about that, or we'll figure something out. But you cannot mock climate change. I'm not asking you whether you like this or not. I remember years ago, maybe not so much now, people used to say things like, when it comes to civil rights, a lot of people don't realize how good they've got it. Who? Americans. Black folks got it a hell of a lot better than they used to. So I don't know what they're complaining about. People would say that. They go, whoa. It's not even close to being, it's not what you think. It's what black folks think, or women, or whoever. What are you going to say about that? What is his thing? He has got to always throw the ball and also define for them who their nominee is going to be. Tell them ahead of time. You can say, listen, I'm not going to talk about Joe Biden. I'm not going to waste my time. You know, and I know it. He's out. How he leaves unceremoniously or ceremoniously, I don't know. He'll say something to the effect that I don't want to have a fastball anymore. I'm going to leave. I'm going to make room, kind of like what Mittens Romney did. Remember when Mittens the other day did this thing? He said, my younger people, I'll come on, or whatever. Okay, fine. Great. Something like that. Predict it for them. Predict it for them. Basically, say, and it's going to be Gavin Newsom. It's not going to be Gavin. It's going to be Gavin Newsom. Predict it. Whether it is or isn't, throw them off. Don't let them pick about what you're saying. You throw them something for them to correct. Let them talk about something that makes sense to the Democrats. Talk something to the effect of maybe something similar to. Right now, as we think, in my hometown of New York, Eric Adams, who was one of these poor dupes who were pulled in, lured by the, whatever you want to call it, the deep state, shadow government, whatever, to do this. He said he was going to be a sanctuary city. He said this. He said he was going to be a sanctuary city. What happened? New York City's falling apart, and they're going to turn their back on him. The same way they're going to turn their back on Kathy Hochul. The same way they're going to turn their back, and they did on Lori Lightfoot, who did everything they did, destroyed Chicago, made it a crime haven, and they turned their back on her. They didn't help her. Same thing with Muriel Bowser in D.C. D.C. is so dangerous, the nation's capital, that if you want to go across the street, if you want to go 5 blocks away, you have to go around in order to avoid certain aspects of the city. This is amazing. Here's our friend, Mr. Sparky, who says, remember when Reagan was on the front page with a pitcher of beer? Later, Herbert Walker Bush tried it and came across totally fake. Oh, yes. Some people can and can't do that. You know, Sparky, there was something which is interesting. And we saw this with Trump. Trump was the most authentic being himself. He said, I'm not going to drink beer. I don't drink. I'm not going to bowl. I don't bowl. I'm not going to wear a flannel shirt. Like, remember Hillary? Hillary was so unbelievable. She changed her voice. I don't think that there's no way I'm going to sit back at Tommy Wynette and beat me. What is this? Remember she was doing shots with the iron workers in Scranton, doing shots of Jaeger and playing pool. And then Obama tried to bowl. Remember that horrible bowling thing? Got a gutter ball. It's horrible. It's terrible. Hillary Clinton was so... But Trump said, I wear a blue suit with a red tie, and that's it. And Victor Davis Hanson insists that Trump has a Queen's accent. Not even close. I don't know where that comes from, but I would stop saying that immediately. Okay? But Trump is terrific. See, Trump has this thing where Trump says, I'm great on my feet. They love it when I'm mean and I troll. They love when I make fun of people and have names. No, that's old. You see, you got to change it. It's like you're like a Bay City Rollers cover band. No, don't do this. But you've got to go and you've got to talk about what you want. You're not going to go to NBC and let Welker decide what the stories are going to be. You decide. You're not going to be NBC. What are you doing? This is over with. Do what everyone go. I've been saying this for the longest time. When he was president, he could have shown people, I swear to God, would you like to see? I tell people this and they look at me and they go, it's pretty good. It's like, I've been saying it. Trump should have taken people around the White House. Would you like to see the kitchen? What? Have you ever seen the White House kitchen? Let me show you. Come on. Do you know how many people would watch that? Do you know how many women would say, or men, but a lot of women would, do you ever see the White House kitchen? Do you ever see the staff? Look at what I've got. Look at this. This is the walk-in free. Wow. Oh, yeah. Do you ever see our gym? You got a gym? Well, I don't use it a lot. I should do. Yeah, absolutely. Here's something for you. You know what this room is? This used to be the bowling alley. The bowling alley, I think, is a White House press room or something. This is the bowling alley. Did you know this? Did you know that in the White House in the old days, the White House was open from, who was it? Was it William Henry Harrison? No, not Henry Harrison. Benjamin, somebody, I forget who it was. He said, I hate this. I have no place. There's no freedom. The White House is open from 10 to 2 every day. And he said, and there were people on the front, on the front lawn of the White House, people who would come and picnic. He says, I can't even get. It was a different story. People could come to the White House and speak to the president. You could meet with the president, and they would come in right here. Do you see this part right here? This is where Harry Truman tried to fix this because it was going to fall. This is the War of 1812. This is, I mean, he could have done so much to say, I like this guy. Jackie Kennedy did it, but he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. I guarantee you, if he said, folks, I'm going to show you something right here. And this is important. And I want you to see this. Okay. This right here, you can't see this. This is Russia. And right next to it, right down here, this is Ukraine. This is the problem. Russia, Ukraine, on the border. Let me show you this one. This is Florida. Down here, 90 miles away, is Cuba. And in 1962, we almost went to war because of missiles that were 90 miles away. Actually, they were in Turkey, but it's a long story. But that was theoretically. And people said to President Kennedy, this is great. And President Kennedy said, and if you don't do this, I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you any kind of ship transmission. And we had people like Curtis LeMay who said, go in and bomb Cuba. And there are people who said, go bomb Cuba. Bomb it. Forget invading it. Just bomb the hell out of it. And people thought that was great. That's what they think in Russia. Did you have that ever explained to you? No. Did you? No. He doesn't talk about that. I don't understand it. There are people out there. Oh, here's my favorite. You don't understand something. Every time Trump's indicted, his numbers go up among Republicans. Do you think his numbers go up with regular people? No. Who is saying this? Where does this come from? Oh, no, Russell Brand is great because you see what they're doing is everybody knows that the reason why he's suffering all of these allegations all of a sudden is because he exposes the deep state. And that they're you know what this Jadrul did the other day? He said, the reason why I can't do his accent, which is the weirdest thing. But anyway, to me, well, I do prefer Jordy. But he says something to the effect that, well, you don't understand that. You see, because of the conspiracy, I think he said, not Baroque, but Byzantine or something. He said, no, because of the conspiracy, and they did it to Joe Rogan. I say, you're saying this is a conspiracy? Hey, ladies, imagine I sound like Jerry Lewis. Hey, ladies, Joe thinks this is a conspiracy. Russell's saying that you're making all this stuff up, that you're not really real, and that you, Miss 16-year-old, that you're part of some kind of a move to shut him down because he's daring to discuss matters that are of a conspiracy nature. That's what he said. What do you think about that? He basically called you a liar. Good, Russell. Excellent, Russell. This is great. You're winning me over, pal. Sparky says, Hillary, as a Midwestern girl, kind of fit in at a tavern. I remember her in a picture with a bunch of frat boys. She might have been elected if her campaign was a nationwide pub crawl. Well, Sparky, thank you again, but no. Let me explain to you. Hillary Clinton could have won had they wanted her to win. Let me ask you a question, dear friends. Very simple, very, very, very simple question. I want you to listen to me and listen carefully. Ready for this? Okay. Listen to me. Here's my question. Sparky, you too, especially you. If in 2016, if the deep state, the police state, the shadow government, the ruling class, if they wanted Hillary Clinton to win over Trump, could they have changed the election, yes or no? Let me say this again. If the deep state, as you say, would have wanted Hillary Clinton to win in 2016, could they have fixed it so that she won? Yes or no? I wait for your answer. Simple. Yes or no? Silver Fox says yes in a heartbeat. Absolutely. Hillbilly says yes. Right? Everybody knows this. Everybody knows. Had they wanted to do, had they wanted to do this. Yes or double yes. Yes. Had these people wanted to change it, they would have absolutely said, without any equivocation whatsoever, they would have said, absolutely, they could have said, but they didn't want to. Why do you think that is? Well, we don't know. If Trump would have lost, nobody would have suspected anything. I didn't think Trump would win. That's why I wrote my name in 2016. No way. No way I said he's going to win. So if Hillary would have won, nobody would have said anything. Nobody would have even questioned it. We didn't know anything about it. You don't need a Dinesh D'Souza documentary on that. They wouldn't have had to do. It would have been the simplest thing. Nobody would have even questioned it. Because Hillary had to, but they didn't want that. They wanted Trump to win. Why is that? Because nothing could have ever been accomplished at the level and degree and depth had Hillary won. Nothing. 4 years of Trump changed everything. 4 years. 4 years. Somebody writes, look at this. I knew Trump was going to win in 2016. That's not the issue. That's not the issue. The issue is not whether you thought she was going to. They could have changed it, but they didn't because they wanted him to win. Think about that. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Trump was 4 years of Trump laid the groundwork for everything we are seeing now. 4 years of Trump was it. 4 years was the most important stuff there is. Now, my friends, do me a favor. I want you to do me a big, big favor. Big, big favor. And you have been great, and this means a lot to me. I want you to make sure that after this, you go immediately to this link, or now, you can go now and then come back, to subscribe to Mrs. L's YouTube channel. It is the most important channel, the most important YouTube channel on CSAM, human trafficking, child sexual exploitation, child predation, bar none. This is it right there. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right there, dear friends. Right there. Sparky says, it's not that Brand has any particular insight. He's a bridge to the normies. You're probably right that he pissed off the wrong people. Well, Sparky, yes, he pissed off the wrong people where it could have been kept quiet. Remember all this talk about Oprah, whatever, schools? Oprah's like bulletproof. Oprah's, unless she pulls that crap anymore. Thank you, Sparky. Unless she pulls that crap against the royal family. Some people are just bulletproof. You just never hear anything. Anything. So the fact that, hey, we can, here's Russell Brand. It also sells newspapers. Listen to what I'm saying. Ashton Kutcher's next. Ashton Kutcher, sort of. Because he wrote that there's more to Ashton Kutcher than just that, obviously. But the point is, this is good because he's a big name. The allegations involve sex. And yeah, he's involved in, whatever. But believe it or not, the first instinct is he sells news, he sells instinct, he sells whatever. And the added bonus was, and yes, he happens to be one of these faux right-wingers. Our good friend, Bill Maher, be ready, my friend. Keep an eye out. Watch your back. Watch your back, because they're really upset with you. Really upset. Okay? Because of what you're doing against the the unions and that sort of thing. Anyway, please follow. Thank you, Sparky. Please, 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 please follow Mrs. L. And also, by the way, Little Rash says, first listened to you a few months ago, Lionel, and I am incapable of missing any sense. Mrs. L's vids are so great too. Lots of love from the UK. Little Rash, thank you so much for that. That means so, so very much. You have no earthly idea. Thank you, thank you, thank you immensely for that. And again, I say to you, my dear friends, one more time, those are her videos. All right, dear friends, thank you for this. And one more thing, and one more great sponsor. And that is, of course, our friends at mypillow.com. Mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. Mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. You go there right now or call 800-645-4965 and look at their Giza sheet sale. Look at this sales regarding pillows and duvets and comforters and slippers and everything you can imagine. Closeouts, clearances, great deals, great products that you will love, and you'll be a My Pillow family as well. We are mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. All right, dear friends, have a great night. See you tonight at 7 p.m. And until then, remember these words, remember these thoughts, remember them as I say to you. The monkey's dead, the show's over, sue ya.